Hey Leo, this reading today is for all of my single Leos, and we're going to see what could be coming towards you in love within the next week. So this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Please do keep in mind it is a general reading, Leo. It may or may not resonate, and I always welcome you here on my channel to take what works and leave the rest. So we're going to jump into it today, and we're going to see what could be coming toward my lovely lions. First message coming out for Leo, we have got the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is definitely interesting energy. It does tend to indicate feeling stuck, feeling like you're at a crossroads. Maybe you're in a situation romantically this week where your head is telling you one thing, your heart is telling you another. It could also indicate that you're potentially dealing with somebody here who is being indecisive. So it could indicate that maybe you're in the process of getting to know somebody new, but it's not really clear to you what they want. Maybe they're not really letting you know what they're looking for. Maybe they're not really clear if they want commitment or they don't want commitment. So there is a little bit of that stuck energy. Let's see where it goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo. Okay, so we've got another two, the Two of Wands. I'm getting the message trying to figure out somebody's intentions. My sense here is that if you're a single Leo, you've been connecting with somebody, or maybe you're going to start connecting with somebody early on this week, but it's like not really clear what they want. So there might be like some level of attraction and desire between the two of you, but I'm also getting a lot of uncertainty. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo. Okay, so that's definitely interesting, you guys. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which is a huge shift in energy. So the King of Pentacles is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This is very stable energy. It's someone who, ironically, it's like someone who's very consistent, somebody who knows what they want. So I wonder if what might be happening this week is that there is a connection here that's developing, Leo. And I feel like at first, it might be characterized by a lot of uncertainty. So there might be a bit of a beginning stage to the connection where you're not totally sure what they want. You're not sure where things are going. Like I feel that this could be a connection where at the beginning, there's not a lot of clarity about what exactly is happening. It's like the two of you know you're attracted to each other, but you might not know right away what the potential is. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe this week is about exploring a connection to see if you do see longer term potential with this person. And I feel like this could be an opportunity to maybe ask more questions to learn more about them, what they want, what they desire. So it's kind of funny because it's like I do see a connection here for you, but I feel like you're gonna have to maybe investigate a little bit and learn more about this person to figure out, can they provide the stability? Can they provide the consistency and the reliability that you're looking for? So here's what we're going to do for the rest of the reading today, Leo. We're going to look more at this person and we're going to look more at you. So we're going to look at their overall energy this week, what they might be feeling, what they might be doing. I will look at the same thing for you, and then we'll look at the potential outcome. So let's just kind of see where it goes. Tell me about this person who is here for my single Leos this week. First card coming out is the Emperor. This is Aries energy. The thing that's coming to mind here is that you might be connecting with somebody who has a lot of personal goals that they're working on, personal and professional, I should say here. The Emperor is somebody who tends to be really focused on their work. It tends to be somebody who's very goal-driven, which can be really wonderful. There's a lot of beautiful things that can go with that energy. Sometimes it can feel a little bit like a workaholic kind of vibe though. So maybe there's someone who you're getting to know and you're like, okay, I can see that your work is your first love. Maybe they're a little bit of a workaholic. So you're in the process of trying to get to know this person, but maybe there isn't as much dates or connection as you were hoping for because perhaps your person has a lot going on. Tell me more about this person's energy this week, please. The Seven of Cups, yeah. You know what I could see here, Leo? I do feel you could be dealing with someone where they don't know what they want. And that fits with the Seven of Cups, right? The Seven of Cups is like that confusing energy of, do I want this? Do I want that? You know, they don't really know, right? So they're possibly sending you mixed messages here. And maybe part of the issue is I could hear them saying to you, like, I've got a lot going on in my life with that Emperor energy, right? So they're like, I got so much on my plate. I've got so many things I'm working on, and I just don't know that I have the energy or the time to really be in a committed relationship. So this might be one of those funny situations where your person's saying to you, like, I like you and I like the time we spend together, but like, I don't know that I can give you more than what I'm giving you right now, right? Tell me more about this person's energy. Oh, what is this? And then we had the Sun jumping out. which is Leo energy. So we are getting some strong fire energy. You could be dealing with another fire sign, maybe a Leo or an Aries romantically here. So the really interesting thing here, Leo, is that I do think that the two of you have a lot of fun together, right? And I think this is what can trip us up. Sometimes it's like we're having an amazing time with someone, we're having so much fun, but that doesn't always mean that that person is ready to give us the commitment that we desire. And, you know, you can play it out, right? Like I always say, I'm not here to tell you what to do. Like you can play it out and see where this goes. But I do see in the energy for this week, there's like a lack of clarity. This person might not be committing in the way that you're hoping, or indicating that they're looking for commitment in the way that you're hoping, but it might be confusing because I do think you guys have a lot of fun. And I do think you have a really good time together. Interesting. Let's see what they could be feeling, please. The Strength card. We're getting so much fire energy. I'm also getting the message, this is Leo energy again, you guys. I'm getting the message like they want to commit, but they might not be ready yet. I almost wonder, like maybe this week will be really confusing between the two of you. If you do decide to wait it out, maybe it could turn into something serious. But I do feel like right now, at this specific moment in time, I don't know that they're available to give you what you want. But I also feel like it's a really strong indicator to have the Strength card in their feelings, because what that says to me, Leo, is that I do think they're developing strong feelings for you. But like we talked about, I think they might have a lot going on where they're like, I am developing these feelings. It does feel really good to be with Leo. I feel really happy when I'm with Leo, but they might be looking at it and being like, I don't know that I can be that consistent, reliable partner that you need right now. That's not to say they couldn't be that in the future, but it's kind of interesting because I do think they really enjoy being with you. I do think they're developing strong feelings as time goes on, but I do think that there could be something that's holding them back from fully wanting to commit at this specific moment in time. Tell me more about what they could be feeling. Yeah, Four of Cups. That's really fascinating, you guys, right? So with the Four of Cups energy, it's basically saying that this person does have feelings for you. But even though they have these feelings, they do pull back. Because the Four of Cups here tends to be an energy of somebody where they're shutting down emotionally, they're withdrawing emotionally, and they're going inward. And so that's what I'm saying, where I'm like, this is kind of confusing probably because you feel that they like you. You feel that you guys have fun. You feel that you have good moments together. And you feel the strength of their feelings, but then you also feel them pull back with that Four of Cups, right? And so it's a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of their energy, and it's probably confusing for you to read them this week. What else could they be feeling, please? And then the Nine of Pentacles, yeah. I mean, this fits with what I was saying, Leo, where I'm like, they feel very goal-directed. They feel very focused on their personal projects, their personal passions. And I just keep saying, like getting the message here in my head that's saying like, I really like you, but I have all this other stuff going on. I really just don't know that I can be in a committed relationship. Like they might be saying to you, I just don't have the capacity right now because of XYZ, right? And so it's not that they don't like you, but I feel like there's factors in their life right now that are making them weary to give you the commitment that you might want. Not because they don't like you, but because of all this other stuff going on. And when I see a situation like this, Leo, it's always very fascinating to me because you have a choice, right? You can decide to continue to see them in this maybe more non-committal type of space and see what happens. You could do that, right? Or if you don't like this, you could walk away as well. It's really up to you to decide like what your comfort level is with this kind of energy, right? So let's see what actions they could be taking this week. 10 of Pentacles, interesting. Yeah, so here's the thing, you guys. I feel your person, the reason they're working so hard right now is because they do want to create stability. I do think this person wants, commitment in the future. I don't see this as being somebody who's like, I never want to commit. I want to be perpetually single. I don't get that vibe. I'm getting the vibe more of somebody right now who's at a point in their life where they're really trying to set themselves up for stability because they want to have that life with somebody in the future, because they want to have that stability, that family, whatever it is. And right now they're in that era, I guess, of their life where they're working really hard to create that stability. And so essentially what they're doing here is like, they're working hard because they do want commitment, but because they're so focused on that right now, they realize they might not have all the time and energy to devote to you. So it's very interesting. I do think their intentions are good. I don't see any sort of malicious energy here. Tell me what other actions they could be taking. 5 of Swords. It's kind of funny. I was like, I don't see any malicious energy, which I don't in their energy. But then it's fascinating that we get the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is like drama, drama, drama. A lot of the times, Leo, this is about somebody who's causing problems in our lives. And so maybe that's part of what's distracting your person too, right? Maybe there's something significant going on this week. Maybe something related to their business or their career. Maybe there's somebody who's kind of like stabbed them in the back, somebody who has created conflict in the workplace, caused some sort of issues. So there's something here where I think your person is navigating some sort of drama in their life. I don't feel like this is about you at all. This is often external energy. And so that could be a distractor, right? Where they're like, I've got this big mess of a situation. Somebody's causing all these problems for me this week. And again, all of that is going to pull their time and their attention away from you. Not that they don't enjoy their time with you. You know what I mean, Leo? But it's like all these other factors in their life, I think, are making it hard for them to fully give you what you want this week. But it's interesting because like, I do think this can be a really good partner. I just feel like at this point in time, there's a lot going on. And that's why I was saying it's kind of up to you, I think, to decide, do you, sit in this maybe limbo energy and see how it goes? Or like I said, if you don't like this, you could also walk away, right? Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. Page of Cups. Yeah. I feel like this is somebody, Page of Cups is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is somebody where even if they're not as available to you as you like right now, once things calm down a bit for them, I think their energy will come towards you more strongly. And that's what I've been saying, where I'm like, this isn't about you, Leo. Like if you're getting weird vibes where you're like, I can't tell what they want, I can't tell if they're committed, I totally get why that's frustrating. I do think they're not as emotionally available, even as available to like hang out this week. Like I think they're distracted. I think they're dealing with some sort of drama. But I do also think when situations like that resolve, they do come towards you, because the Page of Cups is like somebody who does have feelings for us, somebody who is moving towards us. So maybe after whatever your person is dealing with, you start to notice that they become more available to you. But I do think there's going to be a period of time where they're less available, and you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with that. Very interesting. So let's look at your energy this week. Tell me about Leo, Four of Swords. Yeah. I think you're feeling the space, you're feeling the distance, you're trying to figure out what's going on here. Tell me more, please. Ace of Swords, interesting. This is indicating that you're gonna have some sort of epiphany or some sort of breakthrough moment, Leo, okay? So maybe there's something that you're gonna realize about this connection that's gonna be important this week. Tell me more about Leo, the Chariot. Okay. I mean, this is very fascinating. It's giving the vibe that you're going to have some sort of breakthrough moment related to this connection, and then you're going to charge forward. So I'm kind of like, well, so what are you doing? Are you staying with them? Are you not? Like, I think you're realizing something this week and you're going to take action on it. Okay, I don't know exactly what that is, but it does look like you're having a wake-up call this week. Interesting. So let's see what you could be feeling then. Seven of Swords. Interesting. Okay. This is actually getting really juicy as we get into it, Leo. Seven of Swords is the Thief of the Tarot, typically indicates trickery or deceit, right? I think that what unfortunately could be happening here is that your person, like I said, maybe they're distracted, they're non-committal, it sucks. And you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you're like, are they lying to me? Are they deceiving me? Like, I feel the Seven of Swords is a tough card. And it says that you're not sure you can really trust it, right? And that's totally fair, by the way. I get where you're coming from, because you're looking at this and you're like, I don't want to be with somebody who's stringing me along. Of course, who would want to be with that energy, right? So it's like, you don't want to be with them stringing you along, and you're like, okay, I'm not cool with that. And maybe the Ace of Swords and the Chariot is you being like, if there's not clarity about the potential in this relationship, and if I don't know if I can trust you, maybe you decide to no longer pursue this. Because I think what I'm getting here for your energy is that you're feeling that this connection is a bit risky. And it makes sense why, right? Like if you're with someone who's like, I like hanging out with you, but I can't commit to you right now, that's gonna probably sound like a huge red flag, right? Understandably. And so I think you're trying to get a handle on like, what is going on here? Can I trust them? Can I not? And unfortunately, depending on how quickly they move, if they don't step it up sooner rather than later, I could see you walking away, because I do feel you've probably had people send you mixed messages before, Leo, and mess with you and like string you along. And so you're hyper aware of it, right? And you're like, I'm not going to put myself in another situation where they're going to string me along. And so you're going to have a choice to make about what you want to do, right? Like I said, you could wait it out and see what happens, but if you don't feel comfortable, you could also walk away. Tell me more about what Leo could be feeling, the Knight of Swords. The message I'm getting is you want to be with someone who's more actively pursuing you, right? You want someone who's coming into the connection with this exuberance, this excitement, this desire to want to move things forward. I don't think you're really feeling that from this person this week, right? Tell me more about what Leo could be feeling, please. And then Temperance, you're also feeling like you want someone who is giving to the relationship in the same way that you are, investing in the relationship in the same way. It's balance, right? And if you're feeling like there's an imbalance here where you're more invested than them, I think that's raising alarm bells for you. So let's see what actions you might be taking this week, Leo. Queen of Cups, okay? I'm just getting the message here, you're gonna follow your heart. Tell me more about what actions Leo could be taking. Five of Pentacles, yeah. I mean, Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling left out in the cold. Maybe you're gonna try to take action to address any sort of disconnect that you feel with this person and see how they respond. So maybe you say to yourself with that Ace of Swords, you know what? I'm gonna go towards them, I'm gonna ask them questions directly, and I'm trying to get clarity. And then depending on the outcome of the conversation, you might decide what you wanna do here. Tell me more about what actions you could be taking. Ten of Swords. Okay, yeah, so here's the thing, you guys. This is so like relationships, this reading. It's like two people coming together who have got their own stuff going on and their own baggage that they're bringing into the relationship. I do think you guys actually really like each other and have a lot of fun together, but there's a lot of messiness surrounding the connection that I think, unfortunately, it could derail a potentially good thing, right? So let's break it down. For your person, I do think they really like you, but like we said, they've got things that are distracting them, things that they're focused on, maybe some sort of drama this week that they need to deal with, right? And maybe they're feeling like they don't want to be unfair to you and say they're going to commit when they know they don't have the time and the energy to do that right now. So that's them. For you, I am really getting the energy, Leo, that you have been burned badly before by somebody who gave you mixed messages and was inconsistent. And when that happens, I think we will become hypervigilant to that in the future, understandably, right? Like if I was with somebody before, they didn't commit, I dated them for months, for years, they never stepped it up, and now you've got somebody here who's showing you similar type of energy, of course you're gonna be concerned. So it's like you might be bringing some of that past experience into the connection, right? And that's making you feel unsteady with that Seven of Swords, wondering if you can trust them. They've got all this other stuff going on, so they're holding back. And here's the thing, I feel like they're holding back almost because they feel like that's the fair thing to do, right? Because they're like, I don't want to commit to Leo if I don't feel I can fully commit to Leo. So I'm going to wait till I'm fully ready to do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. So it's like they're trying to like be fair to you, but then you're feeling triggered maybe because you've been with people before who didn't commit. And it's a whole jumble mess, like a jumbled mess of stuff that's going on. At the core of it, it's kind of distracting from the connection, right? Like so much of what I'm seeing here is the external stuff getting in the way, but at the heart of it, there could be a beautiful connection, but life is messy, right? And it's kind of messing with it. So let's see what the potential outcome could be, because it's very interesting, you guys. Eight of Cups. Yeah, maybe it's not the right time. This could be a timing thing. Page of Pentacles. Okay, one more. I can tell you what I think might happen here, okay? So I think that maybe this week, things get a little messy between you and this person, okay? And it feels so messy that maybe you guys decide, you know what, it's too much. Your person's like, I got too much going on. You're feeling triggered. You guys are like, no, we can't. It's not the right timing, right? And so you walk away with the Eight of Cups. I feel that you'll probably hear from this person again. Okay, Leo, that's what I'm getting. And here's the thing, with a caveat, I don't suggest you put your life on hold waiting for this person. That is my opinion. I don't think it's over though. And the reason is because I do get the sense that you guys have something really good here, but there might be an issue with the timing at this point in time where there's too many other distractors that are making it hard for the two of you to be together, right? So what I think is like, maybe you guys decide to cool things off for now, but then I feel like with the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, you're going to hear from them again when, you know, when life slows down a little, when they feel a little bit more stable. I feel like you will hear from them. And then it will be up to you, depending on where you're at that point, to figure out what you want. So this is fascinating because this is a connection where I do see potential, but it's one of those things where life could be getting in the way and maybe the timing isn't right now. Could it be in the future? I think potentially. If both of you end up finding your way back to each other at a point where life is less messy, I think you could explore this at a much deeper level. I don't know that the timing this week is working out for you guys because of all the external energy, okay? So that's what I see for you. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And of course, I wish you love and happiness always, Leo, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.